All right, everybody, we're live. How are we doing tonight? I hope everyone's having a great evening. Been off of work a couple hours here, good hour and 35 minutes, and got my top five Dario Argento films all set, ready to go with the stack. And then I have a little stack too of honorable mentions. You can almost say his whole awesome film library could be honorable mentions. Maybe a few would be cut out of there, but happy birthday. Happy 83rd birthday to one of the greatest Italian directors of all time, Dario Argento, by the way. Hope he had a good birthday with his daughters and family and all that other stuff too. And I hope he's in good health. So it always works. All right. See who's in here. Sean, what's up, my man? Thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. Congrats on your video too, getting up in those views. That's a great achievement for you. You're a great dude and great content that you do. Awesome. Hey, Brad, thanks for joining. You're part of the reasons I'm into this genre in general. It's a great time. Great films from him and stuff like that. And it's always just good giving a personal opinion of kind of what's going on here. So I like it. Yep, happy 83rd birthday to Dario Argento. That's right, happy birthday. Saying hi to everybody. All right, good group of people here so far. It's all good. Appreciate you gents for showing up and all this other stuff too, and we'll be all good, ready to go. All right, so really I plan on doing another video too of just my journey into giallo, and it is my second favorite genre in horror thrillers and in film in general. I'll say that in film, giallo is an interesting genre to be in. It's very it's thriller, it's slasher, or you can just take the slasher element out of there. It's really, it's just really, just in a place by itself. I've always said when I started doing these videos on giallo films, starting with Argento in general, that, these Italian directors are different type of cats, and he's one of the greatest of all time of doing these films. It takes a certain type of person, certain type of mind to be the certain type of director or producer or writer doing all these films for as long as he's been doing them. I mean, when I watched Dark Glasses, I really liked that film. He had help with that, of course, like that, but it's really good that he can still do this. He can still stick to it and just do this awesome stuff. So it's very, very cool. Hey, what's going on, Texas? Thanks for joining. I really appreciate it. Thanks for joining my personal top five Dario Argento films. This took me a lot of thoughts and stuff like that. I have notes, of course, when I started doing this on this little pad right here. I graduated to another Giallo Yellow notebook for doing a lot of my reviews and stuff and doing my deep dives and all that other stuff into this awesome director's filmography and work. And yeah, I had to switch some of my picks around a little bit. One at the last minute, and I think I made the good decision. I was actually kind of surprised. Some may not be surprised to see what my number one is. Some others might not. And then, I'll do my top five, and then I'll just do the honorable mentions, which is a little bit, so won't take too long, and we'll be good to go. So let's the full screen here real quick here, and I'll just start. I had notes on this. I may have put it on a bigger piece of paper, but I'll just say this. So my number five, basically, what I love about this film, seeing it for the first time. A lot of these films I've only seen once. A couple of these I've seen twice. Or I've seen twice. One I plan on seeing twice because I like it that much. But with this one, what I really loved about it, just from the start to like the end, just a batshit crazy horror film in general. You take my basically almost say top three really in slashers in general, and you just mix them all together. You just put them in a pot, you mix them up, you get this demon child of greatness. So you take Friday the 13th, you take Psycho, you take Nightmare on Elm Street, and you make this masterpiece of a crazy-ass film, and you get Dario Argento's Phenomenon, done in 1985, starring Jennifer Connelly and the very late, great Donald Pleasance, and this awesome chimp right here, one of the more shocking, good animal attack scenes, endings that you can ever get. This is the most crazy I've ever seen Daria Nicolodi play a character. She was later more subdued as her characters in other Argento films. You can see that. You can honestly see that a lot subdued, a lot of them. Really, this is the one where she's most off the wall, different type of character where you just see that switch. For all those that hadn't seen it, I won't kind of spoil it for you. So basically, she has her character right here goes to stay in this girls' sorority, kind of like that, or school. And she has I want to say it's kind of like telekinesis. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff with her character. It's kind of all over the place a little bit. She's able to talk to insects. So at the beginning, this girl gets murdered, and she kind of sees, you think, her visions of it and stuff like that. And insects help her throughout the film. She's able to talk to them. Donald Pleasance's character right here is kind of like this dude. You can say he's like a scientist who works with insects and stuff like that, and how to communicate with them and stuff like that. It's a cool role by him. It's very trippy. Awesome dream sequences and stuff. That's why I link it to Nightmare on Elm Street. And then you get, you get music from Motorhead, and you get Flash of the Blade by Iron Maiden, which is in a continuous loop from the song, which I find kind of weird. I didn't mind it. I always liked the opening guitar sequence to that. I love Iron Maiden a lot. Always love the opening sequence to that. Through some of the chase scenes, there's an awesome kind of slow type of chase scene. There's a scene where she's on a ledge where this window is at. It's a very good scene. Movie shot very well. The ending is very good, very terrifying to me. I love it to death. Very Friday the 13th too towards the end, as you can probably guess. There's some scenes and stuff like that where I'm like going, oh God, I love this to death. And this is the release from Synapse. People there, Don May and those guys and gals, they do an awesome job. Just awesome job with their stuff and whatever like that. So, I mean, but yeah, that's my number 5 is Dario Argento's Phenomenon. Came out in 1985, by the way. And there's a few cuts in here. One of them's the Creeper cut, I believe, which is like highly, highly edited, like down to like 83 minutes, I think. So I think they took out the music and all that other stuff too. So I always find that kind of terrific. Number 5 is Inferno. Very cool, Brad. Yeah, that may be mentioned later. Yeah, Inferno should make the list, and I love that movie, but most people don't. Totally agree with that, Sean. I will get to that point. Absolutely. Yep, that's another thing, it seems, with these Italian directors. I'll do basically my top 5 with Fulci eventually when I'm done with kind of his filmography, I believe. It seems like Fulci had bats. He seemed to like doing the stuff with bats. Dario just did every other animal, specifically dogs, cats, ravens, or crows, or whatever you may call them. So every time I hear someone mention Phenomena, the theme actually starts playing in my head. Very haunting. Yeah, like I say, I have mostly all of Iron Maiden's albums on a CD and stuff like that, and Flash of the Blade, God, that's such a good song. I mean, and you hear that loop and stuff like that. Of course, there's that scene, death scene, or where they're taking the gurney out and they're playing, right, just mentioned Motorhead and stuff like that. I always thought that kind of trippy, but yeah, it's a really, really good, shot in Sweden, I believe. So you just take that for what it is. So yeah, but it's a batshit crazy thing, and I love it. Yeah, the underwater scene builds tension every time. Absolutely. Yeah, that's a trippy scene. That's the winner. Yeah, Creepers was the American release back then. Yeah. And the Killer Monkey. Yeah, like I say, more animal attacks in these horror movies. Yes, please. Like Stephen Thrower always says, you got to love it. number 4 is Jennifer. Yeah, Master of Horror segment. Yeah, and remember the Dead Pit Boys were talking about that yesterday, I think, or a few days ago, I think, on their stream, and I watched that. So I'll have to try to find that, see if it's on streaming or something like that. I'll have to check that out. Another one I have not seen from them yet, I'm just going to say is, it has Max Van Sydow in it. I have not seen that yet. So I'm kind of waiting for a sale, but I haven't seen that yet. I may have to check a streaming service to see if it's on there. There should have been a scene in Phenomena where Donald Pleasance and the monkey are watching Halloween 5 and laughing at it. I kind of agree with that. That can kind of work. Basically, the scene, where he has those things, that has that thing that you sit on, right, that goes up the stairs. I always thought that was kind of trippy. Reversing it where it goes back down towards that masked killer. I always thought that was pretty cool. The camera angles are great for that film. Oh, Halloween 3. Season of the Witch. There you go. Okay, then yeah, Sean, absolutely agree. Okay, that Phenomenon was my number 5, and let's see here. Actually, I have my notes for this one. Sorry, guys, give me all a second here. Here we go. A lot of people would put this on their top of their list of Argento films. A lot of them would put them at the top of giallo films in general. I think this is more of a slasher to me. It has one of the best ending screams I've ever heard in horror history. I call it that, in thrillers and slashers. And let's just get down to it. It's his masterpiece of a film, Dario Argento's Tenebrae. Another awesome release from Synapse and all this other stuff too. And I can show this in the back. We all know what that is. Basically, this is the first kill to start at this film. Beautifully shot. Came out in 1982. Written and directed by Dario Argento. Luciano Tovoli, a director of photography, which is really good. Starring Anthony Franciosa. I believe I said that right. Of course, the late, great John Saxon. And Dario Nicolodi in a subdued part, but works pretty good. Basically, it's this author that goes to, I do forget where this was filmed at. I believe it was Italy or somewhere around there. I do apologize. This is when I was just kind of starting out doing this stuff. And but of course, that's what Letterboxd and IMDb are for. And he goes here. It almost looks like a bait and switch type of a thing, but then you figure out what's going on. The killer is killing off these people based off stuff that happened in his latest book that seems to be getting some controversy. And then it just goes awesome from here. I did not see the killer coming. I did not see it. I'm not kind of like Dirk and stuff like that. That's why he's so cool with these and stuff like that. And I agree with him with a lot of giallos and these thrillers. If the killer surprises you, then it's definitely worth it. This is definitely worth it. The ending is worth it. The screams are worth it. The kills are worth it. There's a dog attack scene here, which is all over the place, man. I get high anxiety and stuff like that. It's like it starts out with a fight on the bike, which comes out of nowhere, where he just drops her off, and she's like, blah, 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 whatever. She decides to walk home. All of a sudden, this German Shepherd's right behind her, then starts chasing after her. Big chase scene, goes into this house. All this stuff happens. There's a murder outside this house where these two people are kind of watching what's going on or something like that. It's really, really crazy. I'll definitely revisit this film. There's a lot of stuff here I have to rewatch and try to get the part of. It's very good. It's oh God, as a giallo, it's giallo slasher thriller. It's up there. I just scope how bloody gory it is. The kill scenes are great in this. There's probably a lot of stuff I missed with this. Well, of course, there's this scene right here. Saxton was great in everything he kind of did, in my opinion. He always kind of plays either a detective or somebody like he was playing here. He was a lot different in this role that he was in here. Not much more to kind of say about it. Other than, it was beautifully shot. And, the ending was great and it was shocking. And, the screen is awesome. But you know what I'm all talking about. Yeah, that's Dario Argento's Tenebrae. Can still get this release, get it. Or wait for a sale, one of the two, but this is a great release by Synapse. Highly, highly recommend it. The monkey throws shit at the screen. Yeah, pretty much. It's a smart animal. I mean, it's really good. It's kind of, I don't want to say train. That sounds bad the way I say that. But yeah, I love that part about the whole thing. That would be too distasteful for Argento. And when there is something funny in an Argento film, it's usually unintentional. That's a yes and a no. It's like that with, I love the late great Wes Craven. I do, but some of the comedy he put in his horror, I wasn't feeling at all. I mean, comedy can, specifically in a horror movie, comedy can put it off. He did that with later Friday 13th stuff. He did that before, I guess, with stuff a little bit in Last House on the Left and stuff like that. I mean, like, sorry, off topic a little bit. I do like Red Eye, but not that much. It starts out good, then towards the ending and stuff like that, I found it a little lackluster. I think he was just Wes was just conforming to what the 90s people kind of wanted for that, and I just didn't kind of see it with the comedy. They had stupid comedy in that too, so. Then the monkey edits a new cut of Dawn of the Dead. Popular opinion, Tenebrae is my least favorite score from Goblin. Everything else is gold. It's true. It's a little subdued when they go through the apartments, like when the camera, great extras on this too, when they pan out from the camera going from, that's probably the best score in that film, or the best kind of part music wise in that film from Goblin, where it goes, it goes up and up and up, Another thing with Argento, he likes doing stuff with windows. He likes people falling through windows. That's a trippy scene on the stairs. I'm like going, oh yeah, of course there's glass there. So of course it's going through there. So I really like that idea. Tenebrae is solid. Thank you, Brad. Appreciate that. Number 3 is Deep Red. Ooh, absolutely. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Everything about Deep Red is great. And I will get to that specifically. All right. So already up to my number 3. I watched the remake of this film and liked it. I remember seeing the remake to this film in a theater that Amazon released, hint, hint, through their Amazon Films. I watched it on their streaming service. I liked it a lot. I have a book where they looked up his name. I'm like, okay, so this is based off an older film he did. One of the best scores in history from Goblin. Some of the most haunting opening scenes I've ever seen, and the ending is so trippy, and the colors are awesome and pretty. I know Pops would go nuts, ape shit out of that. But let's just get down to it, and that's Suspiria. I love this film a lot. Let's see if I actually put anything down for this. Wrote anything down for this. I saw this on, sorry about that, the glare. Saw this on, this one's still, and this one's still wrapped up because I remember getting in stuff like that, and I already saw it on, but I need to unwrap this and see what this looks like in 4K. So, but it's an awesome film. It just, I mean, dude, just everything about it is good. Just this, girl goes to this, it's a place for dancing for, young girls, in this case, young women and stuff like that. I know Dario originally wanted, younger teens to do this and stuff like that, but that didn't happen. Goes here as soon as she gets out of the airport. Darren and Dirk are right. When I watched their Hour to Kill episode about this, just the way everything looks. As she's going to this place, as there's there's a woman running in this dark forest, just going there. It's so haunting. It's so good. I love everything about the film. just everything. It's haunting. It's terrifying. There's good kill scenes in this, specifically the opening. It's basically the opening scene. You see this right here. She falls through. It looks like this church pane glass window falls through. Glass hits another woman that's down there. Yeah, it's classic Argento. It's classic Goblin. It's the first in his Three Witches, or the Three Mothers trilogy of films. I've seen the other one, of course, which is Inferno. I haven't seen Mother of Tears just yet. But this one is the ending scene is great, where the fire is going on. Just spoil it real quick. I mean, the place is burning to the ground. You can hear the women screaming in there, which is great. You don't know if the lead actress is like smiling, laughing. That tells me she's broken. That just tells me she's broken. She's like, oh shit, what just happened? Great haunting scenes in here, specifically towards the end and stuff like that. Chase scene and all this stuff. This chick goes into this, I call it like a bird's nest of barbed wire. It's so trippy. It's so good. You can almost say it's slasher, but it's not. It is, but you know, you find out what's going on, who's doing the killing at the start a little bit, and all this other stuff. There's trippy scene with this blind piano player, I think he is, or something like that, and his German Shepherd. There's a scene I did not see coming with that. I thought that was cool, awesome. Like, whoa, what the hell happened? Seeing that for the first time. This film's a masterpiece. No film is perfect, to what Brad has said, which I agree. This gets a strong 9 out of 10. That's Suspiria. The greatest Italian horror movie ever made. Yeah, I used to have a bad DVD of Deep Red, and the quality of it just couldn't make me appreciate it. But once it was restored by Every Video on Blu-ray, it found love for me. Yeah, I have that same Blu-ray, Sean. Yeah, absolutely. That's how I got that film originally and stuff like that, and I eventually upgraded that. And yeah, it's a great film. Love it to death. Yeah, I think Deep Red was ahead of its time. That shit is crazy. Yeah. The look on his face is crazy. Hot take, 2 is Trauma. I'm impressed, Brad. I'm very impressed. Yeah, all-star cast. Brad Dourif. Oh, God. That was Asia Argento's first film? No, that was Phantom of the Opera, I think. You may have to correct me on that. And Mr. Serafini doing the practical effects. You got to love it. Yes, it does. We'll get to that in uno momento here. Let's just keep on coming with the heavy hitters. I had to switch with Suspiria. I thought Suspiria was going to be my number 2. I thought. The film above it, I'm looking at it and I'm like, you know what? Watching it for the first time. I did order an upgrade of this from Orbit. That should be coming soon, but I pre-ordered from Orbit. I pre-ordered Bug, William Friedkin's Bug. That's why that order hasn't come, because I have other came yet. That's why, because it was a pre-order. So once that order comes out, they'll send that out. I have a few others with that. But I got this off of Ronanflix. It was cheap enough. I've heard great things about it. Brad has mentioned it. This is up there with some of my all-time favorite giallos of all time. This was done during a time when the world was going through some changes a little bit, and cinema was going through changes. It's a beautifully shot film. Good music in this too. And this is Dario Argento's masterpiece, and that's Opera. I love this film a lot. I did not think I would like this more than Suspiria. I do. I love this film a lot. There's a trippy scene with, I believe they're ravens or crows. I believe they're ravens. There's a scene towards the end when they're trying to find out who the killer is. This cage drops. You have the handler that's in the cage. That is a crazy scene. Basically, they were going to originally shoot in this one opera house. That didn't happen. They got kicked out, so they went to another one, which I believe was closed down. It was like the largest opera house in that area of Italy, I believe. Brad, you may need to correct me on that. There's good extras on this. This is a Scorpion release. So unfortunately, I did write some of this down, but it stars Christina Marcellage, I believe, and John Charlson, and Berba Barberini, William McNamara, all-star cast. Of course, Dario Argento is in here. One of the greatest kill scenes I've ever seen. And it has good extras on here, which choreograph that scene. It has something to do with her character looking through a keyhole. You see the gun. You've seen it. I think Dirk has used it in his Hour to Kill stream. It's one of the coolest things ever. The way the fan is placed or the phone is placed, that scene happens to the bullet happens to get to the phone too, and it flies up. It's beautifully shot. You all know what I'm talking about. Basically, opera is about an opera that's being in production. It's not the Phantom of the Opera, I believe. I may be wrong, but it's some play that's supposedly cursed. It may be Macbeth, I think. But it's a cursed kind of play, opera type of a thing. This director is doing it. The main actress that's supposed to do it, she gets hit by a car, like out of nowhere. You know, you see her walking out there, then you see this car hit her, I believe. And then they get this young woman, this beautiful lady right here, to do the part. And the stuff happens from there. The kills happen from there. It's very sadomasochistic, in my opinion. The killer kills her boyfriend in front of her. Basically, what you see with the eyes here, he tapes her mouth up and he puts these needles on her eyes so she can't blink, so she can watch what this killer is doing to these victims just to torture her, because the killer's obsessed with her. There's trippy music in this too, with some of the scenes and stuff like that. This was during when the AIDS pandemic was getting really kind of big and stuff like that. Unfortunately, this actor right here, I know he later on passed from the virus in general. Rest in peace, my friend. Great role by him. Great role by her. That's her up here too, singing and stuff like that. I like to say the kill scene with Dario Argento is through a gunshot. She looks through the whole, like it can be very enclosed of a film. There's a scene where they go through these grates to these other places in this apartment. It's really, I love everything about this. You know, the way they use the ravens to find who the killer is and stuff like that. And it's like, it'll point out who the killer is. That's a very cool scene. It's all over the place. They had to heavily rehearse that probably. Just everything about it. Shot is good in this place. It's mostly shot around in this place too. And then outside in this lady's apartment where she's at, she gets like phone calls and all this other stuff. Thinks she going crazy and all this other stuff too. God, one of these days I'll go into another bigger deep dive of this and stuff like that. I love this film a lot. This is the one I will watch again. I can watch this a bunch of times and not get tired of it. It has 3 different endings, or at least two, but it has 3 different endings to me. I was just blown away by everything about this film. It's a very good film. I know a 4K is being released of this. I don't know who's bringing it out. I think it's Severin. I may be wrong. Somebody I know knows in chat about that. There is a media book out, which I did order. That's the one I ordered off of Orbit because I got that back in for $60 when it came available. I'm buying that. Hell yes, I want that in 4K. I know they're releasing the 4K out over here, but that's an awesome looking media book, and I heard it looks awesome in 4K. So yeah, that's Dario Argento's masterpiece opera. God, what a cover. I wouldn't mind this as a poster either. Macbeth. Yeah. Thank you, Brad. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, opera is badass. That's my number one. But since you covered it, Sleepless would be my number one. That's the one I was thinking of, is Sleepless. That's the one Kino Lorber released. I mean, that's the one with Max van Sydow in it and stuff like that too. So yeah, Argento loves this stuff. Hey, Darren, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it, my shallow brother. This guy right here, Darren Burrows. I I know he plans on doing a channel and stuff like that. Watch him and Dirk on An Hour to Kill and stuff like that. He knows those two, specifically Darren, knows a shitload about giallo. Awesome dude with that. I have great people on there. Know there's giallo and stuff like that. It's because these guys, I really got deep dived into that. Love it. So let's see. Number 1, Suspiria. 2, Opera. Very nice. 3, Phenomenon. Wow, very good. 4, Tenebrae. 5 is a tie with Sindel Syndrome and Sleepless. Okay. And Sleepless. It changes weekly, though. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, like the more you kind of watch these films, that's the thing. If you watch this, like I say, a lot of these are first-time watches for me. So that's the thing where, that's why I love just kind of watching these for the first time and getting that thing of like going, you watch it for the first time, you're like going, am I going to watch this again? When you can come away saying, oh, F yes. Where, I'm definitely going to watch this again. I did not see the killer coming. I maybe thought I did, but I'm like, who could it be? I almost thought it was Dario Argento's character, but it's not. So it's like, I was like, dude, what the hell's going on here? So it's really good. Great giallo. This is a giallo. This is awesome. Let's say Macbeth. Saying, hey guys. The opera is just awesome from start to finish. I even like the false endings. That's what I mean. It's kind of, yeah. That's what I mean, where I think one you mentioned, there's like 3 different endings to the film. It's crazy. You guys ready to mortgage your house for that opera 4K summon soon? Yeah. Darren Chine, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it'll probably be a great release. So yeah, it's definitely, it's Severn Films. They do a good job. They do a good job with their stuff. I'm not dogging them. It's just, what some of their people kind of say, stuff that they have in stock is, and they don't have it on the site, and they have it at their, whatever. So it's like everyone's saying, hey, I think I have Sleepless on Blu-ray from Scorpion release, and I know I have it, but can't remember if it's Scorpion. I know last time I checked, because Kino didn't have it in their last sale. It wasn't a bad price through Kino. It was like $20, I think it is, and stuff like that, but Bird with the Crystal Plumage and Inferno are not far away. Absolutely. I love Bird with Crystal Plumage, and that was his first. Think about that. And that's kind of like the way to go after that on how people did giallo. Like the Fifth Chord is almost, when I really think about it for the first time, really Fifth Chord is almost kind of like, it definitely is a copy, because that's what these directors were trying to go for. That's what I loved about it. So you got this competition, which made for great giallo films in general, so I love it. Sleepless really had a killer midget. It would definitely been my number 1. Absolutely. Yeah, Sleepless is still great. It's Kino, I think. Yeah. Forget if Sleepless was made like, I think 89 or something like that. I think you may have to correct me on that, or maybe the 90s. Sleepless is underrated. That train opening is as good as anything he's done. Yeah, absolutely, Darren. Kind of agree like that. I could probably find it on a streaming service and stuff like that. Look it up. I'll definitely get that. There's a few stuff from Argento I would get, even if they are bad. I heard Phantom of the Opera is not good. I heard the Card Players has mixed stuff. I think that's what it's called, right? The Card Player, I think. That has really mixed reviews and stuff like that. 2292, my goodness. See, that's what I mean. So he can really go up there and stuff like that and come up with new ideas for great stuff when it really works. Card Player is garbage. Okay. So there you go then. So all right, in the nitty-gritty, don't worry. I'll have honorable mentions. Don't worry, everybody. So you probably get your picks in the honorable mentions too. But I mean, it's no surprise to maybe some, or to few people that know me getting into this genre. The book that I got initially when I was I've always been into slashers was called the 1980s teenage slasher book, I believe. And they mentioned this film in here. And they mentioned it was from the Video Nasties. They called it a Video Nasty with the stuff that was in it. And it was, sorry guys, I'll be there 1 second here. There we go. and it just popped up at me. That's when I got the Arrow Blu-ray of it, and I watched it, and I'm like, oh shit. Just everything about it is good. The score from Goblin is good. The opening is one of the greatest openings I've ever seen to a slasher horror film. I mean, it is a giallo, but my God, it's a slasher. My God, it's so damn good. Yeah, done in 1975. The Italian name is Profondo Rosso, and that is Dario Argento's masterpiece, a 9.5 out of 10, Deep Red. The last great giallo ever done, at least of the 70s. Nothing has come close to this, in my opinion, of being, even close to this in rankings for, not going to say giallo, but films kind of this period. Nothing. Almost everything is perfect about this film. The only thing here is, and there's two different versions on here where you can take out the comedy a little bit that Daria Nicolodi has. This is her debut as an actress. I believe Dario met her here, which was funny. The day they first met and stuff like that, I think like the year, not the year, but the actual day, the month and stuff like that was the same time that their daughter was born. Just looking that up, I believe that was on, I believe this is in the booklet, and this is a great 4K release, by the way, by Arrow. They killed it with this. I remember when I saw it when it was cheap enough to kind of get and stuff like that. It comes with a booklet like that. This is worth getting. Score by Goblin, starring David Hemmings, a great role by him, and Daria Nicolodi, great role by her. And yeah, it's just like a lot of great kills in here. Like you say, the marionette doll walking towards him, this dude, with his characters and stuff like that. I always find it funny where, and he's like looking like, what the heck is this? And then just shit happens, dude dead on the table. You see the blood through the table. That's a great scene. The opening here, just the score from Goblin where you see the killer just throwing stuff around a little bit like that. Of course, the opening, it's almost like an opening out of, and this was done before Silent Night, Deadly Night. So you got to think the people that did Silent Night, Deadly Night watched this and said, that can work because that's the scene that's done during Christmas. It's so good. The ending is so good. It's almost soap opera-like. That's what I kind of like about these films. Almost soap opera-like it's a stage play. Really good. The ending death scene is good. During the credits, and he's staring at this pool of blood, that's all I'm going to say, where it's continuous, right? It's continuous until it finally pauses and the rest of the stuff plays out and stuff like that. Very good. Great cinematography. Beautiful locations in Italy here. This is a great film. It's Deep Red. Like I say, what else can you say about this film? It's his masterpiece. I mean, like I said, it's like a little bit like the comedy. I think is kind of funny and stuff like that. But I like the interaction between the two main characters in this. I thought it's done really well and stuff like that. And the kills are really good in this and stuff like that. One chase scene, I guess, chasing out, and the dude gets dragged by the car, and then all this shit happens. It's like, it's Dario Argento. It's music by Goblin. Hold on a second. Must hear me talking about it. I live next to a firehouse. I'm sorry, guys. And there we go. But yeah, this is Dario Argento's masterpiece, Deep Red. Highly worth it. I still have the card and stuff like that on. It probably has a doll in the back and stuff like that, and this shit right here and all this other stuff too. Yeah. Great film. But that's my number one. That's Deep Red. Hey, Gizmo, thanks for stopping by, my friend. My Norwegian Viking friend who has a bunch of anime waifus in his new place. So more space to hide him at, probably a bigger basement for him to hide him at and stuff like that too. You guys got to make sure you put furniture in there, my friend, so you get rid of the echo. You'll be fine. It's good. We're in my new house, and there's a loose dog running crazy out in the street, and we're trying to get him. Okay. Gotcha, my friend. Right now, it's his best film, but probably 7 out of it for me. It's true. I just love just like everything about it. Just really more slash, probably because I'm a huge slasher fan, hence my name and stuff like that too. And just a lot of the stuff in there is just like crazy good. You know, there's a lot of stuff I can mention. The ending scene in the elevator, I just like, whoa, okay. It's just really good. I don't know, I'm scared of people, so hard to get them. Okay, Gizmo, that's all good. Just be careful, my friend. Could have done without the comedy in Deep Red. Yeah, it's true. It happens. It's understandable. That's understandable, Darren. Yeah, very good. Yeah, the ending are amazing, though. I agree. Yeah. Don't think Deep Red is his best. I think it's his 3rd or 4th best. Yeah, that's what I kind of like about different opinions. Yeah, each one has a different opinion. Like I said, I've seen this twice. It's still up there. I'm surprised. Like I said, because it was this, and this was my number 2. So these are almost neck and neck as my favorite films from him. Suspiria is, like I say, really up there too. So I was conflicted with that. So specifically with Suspiria, that's an awesome film. I mean, it's just really good. Suspiria, Tenebrae, and Phenomenon is higher for me at least. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, all great Dario Argento films. Yeah. Yeah, Phenomenon was my number 5. Tenebrae was my number 4. Yeah, Tenebrae was my number 4. And that's like a masterpiece of a film from him too. I just love Tenebrae. It's a Deep Red number 1. I appreciate that, Dan. Yeah, Phenomenon might be number 2 or 3 for me at least. Yeah, just watching that for the first time. I'll definitely watch. Definitely Halloween to be coming up. Spooky season is definitely here. So, oh yeah, that's definitely one to recheck out. That's for sure. Oh, wow. So I have a lot to watch. I have a lot to watch. I have some honorable mentions coming up, but yeah, I have a lot to watch. Like I say, it's like I heard, let's see, I'll just do this real quick. Don't argue with any of the top 5 genre films. I'd maybe say top 7. Yeah. That's what I love about you, Gizmo. You kind of trippy in your Nordic numbers, as I call it. But yeah, number 1 is Deep Red. Can't go wrong with this as a release. It could be whatever kind of pick you want. That's what I love about this community and all this other stuff too. It can be whatever you want. So, it's great stuff. Like I say, a lot of those are first time watches. Deep Red I've seen twice. Suspiria I've seen twice. The heavy hitters and stuff like that too. Yeah, the opera I plan on watching again and again. It's definitely worth kind of going and stuff like that. So, sorry, I have to get a quick swig of water. And go through some stuff here real quick. Okay, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 honorable mentions. So, and these will go pretty quickly, and we'll get going. Yeah, I've seen all of them. I think the bottom is easy and the top is simple, but 9 to 15 is the tricky. Yeah, definitely the tricky. That's for sure. And so. Okay, so go my 5 honorable mentions. So, let's get into it. So it was talked about in chat, and this almost broke the top 5. This was originally going to be my number 5, and that's Dario Argento's Inferno, the second movie in the Three Mothers trilogy. This movie is awesome from start to finish. Is it a batshit crazy movie? Yes, it is. Was it his hardest film? Yes, it was. This was Dario Argento's hardest film. He states that in this. I did the introduction to this film. They do the introduction. He goes, yeah, they had problems. From what I understood from what the actor said, him and Dario Nicolodi were arguing they could hear them arguing, like screaming at each other. Where I understand plates were thrown, glass was thrown, something was thrown. So my God, what a lovely couple they were. My goodness. Starring done in 1980. Starring Lee McCloskey and Daria Nicolodi and stuff, with the most subdued part I've ever seen her in. This Lee McCloskey, he's a cool dude. Great extras on this Blue Underground release. He's a good drawer. Very educated, very cool dude. Playing, it's like so it's this brother and sister. It starts with the sister in New York, I believe. I think that's where that's supposed to be at. The brother's in Italy, I believe. You may have to quote me on that, chat. Maybe it's reversed, but stuff happens with her. It goes to her first with this creepy dude in this like antique shop that has a bunch of these cats, which he does not like. And you find out about that later. Who mentions the book on the Three Mothers. I call it the Necronomicon. They don't. But it's the Necronomicon to me. It's his take on that. This has a little bit of Lovecraftian stuff in there about what will happen with that and stuff like that. Then all of a sudden she goes into this crevice and stuff. It's like an underwater thing where she drops her, it's a ring or earrings or something gets dropped in there. And good actress. She's a synchronized swimmer, so they used her for that part, and it worked really good. They're seeing where all this stuff is happening. Then there's a chase scene. It's a slasher film and stuff like that, where it's almost beheading by a window, a glass window and stuff like that. She states that too. That was a little bit painful there to put the aesthetics on her and stuff like that. But yeah, and the brother gets interesting visions and all this stuff. A lot of stuff's going on in this film. Like he's in this apartment building type place staying and stuff like that, where the sister is trying to contact him. He does not know the sister is dead. Great practical effects in this. Great kills in this. Great colors in this. This is one next to Suspiria. This is the best use of colors I've seen in an Argento film. They're really good, really bright, really pretty. This great release by Blue Underground. This looks great in HD. The score was by Keith Emerson. I like the score a lot. The ending is very trippy. I like the ending. I think Umberto Bava had help with this and stuff like that. I think Mario Bava, the very late great Mario Bava, was still around, so they got his help with this film a little bit with some certain scenes, specifically the ending. I like the ending a lot. It's very trippy. It's a la early Argento in his films. And interesting trivia: James Woods almost got the part, but had created differences. Of course you do. I could see James Woods playing a part in a Dario Argento film, which is very funny. I can see him playing a part in these films. He would fit these films to a T, in my opinion. Hell, he did Videodrome, directed by David Cronenberg. I mean, and you couldn't do. But like I say, these directors are different type of cats. But yeah, this is my honorable mention. Pick number 5 was originally going to be number 5. I love a 4K of this. I would buy it. I love this movie to death. This definitely be a second watch for me in the future. It's like batshit crazy awesome film. I love it. That's Inferno. They also had a scene, I believe, where ants were used through this like reverse vacuum. I think these Italian directors like to use that shit too and stuff like that. And they'll scene in the floor and stuff like that. That's kind of creepy. That kind of creeped me out. That's why I probably like about it. But yeah, that's an awesome looking kind of poster type of thing too. Yeah, that's Inferno. Love it. Yeah, Dario Argento, he's talking about. He did a couple of TV episodes in the Doors, Into Darkness series from the early 70s. Oh, okay. They're okay. His 2 Masters of Horror episodes are superb. I can't get into his 2 Evil Eyes segment. Yeah, that's he did the Black Cat, right, Darren? So it is. I think it's an underrated film, really, from him. I love it to death, right? Because it's more horror and stuff like that. There's a scene where I think it's the sister where she goes into that room. It's like, how do you find your places here and stuff like that? And you don't see the dude. He's obviously a big dude. You don't hear anything about him later. You just don't. you're wondering what it is. And she's like, is this yours or something like that? I'll have to rewatch it again to figure out what's going on. He kind of chases her out. You know what I mean? Kills her, all this other stuff. It's a great chase scene. So Inferno has the best underwater scene in the history of cinema. It does. It's really good. It's really good, Darren. That's why I like the fact when they talk to her and stuff like that. She's a good actress too. God, she was gorgeous. I mean, my goodness. Just coming out there in that her nice blouse there, you know, wet and all that great stuff. Any red-blooded man will love that stuff. So Iron Mako from Night Train Murders Gizmo. There we go. I love her more than anything on planet Earth. I believe she is a witch. You're thinking of an older woman, Gizmo. Or Marcia Merrill? Yeah, my goodness. Eesh. Oh, you're thinking of one of the victims? Yeah. She's old today. She was not old in Night Train Murder. She was a perfect age. Yeah. Great stuff. But yeah, that's Inferno. Like I said, great film. You probably still get this pretty cheap unless they release a 4K, which I'm sure they will. It's Blue Underground too. I'm surprised Blue Underground hasn't released a 4K unless they lost the rights to it. I don't know. Blue Underground had a plethora of great films on Blu-ray. They've only released a few. So all right. So yeah, that's my honorable mention number 5. My honorable mention number 4, Brad talked about it, and that's Dario Argento's Trauma. Yeah. It's a good film. All-star cast in here. Yeah, I changed the slip to that. So that's what the original thing looks like. This kind of suits it a bit better. Yeah, seeing Quest for Revenge. So Brad Dourif is in this. All-star cast. Yeah, practical effects by the great Tom Savini. Great special features on this Vinegar Syndrome 4K. I'm surprised they kind of get this since it's a Dario Argento film. I think this is the only one they have from him. But I can see why. It's kind of Vinegar Syndrome-esque. Asia Argento is in this. She plays a pretty subdued part. It's been a minute, but like say there's this killings going on. It starts with the kill of she's like a doctor or something like that. I don't want to say it's a plastic surgeon or something's going on. All I can say, I'm sorry, I'm surprised because I've watched this recently, but it's a really good film. Great practical effects. The Brad Dourif falling off the elevator is pretty trippy of a scene. Great special features on this where Serafini talks to that, where he has the aesthetics of the head when it lands. It says it's supposed to land here at this spot. Really like it. It's a great film. You have the iguana there. You have to see the film to get to that part. I did write stuff down. That would help when I did it. Let's see. I hope yeah. So Trauma was done in 1993. Practical effects by Tom Savini. I gave this film a 7 out of 10. Starring Asia Argento, Piper Laurie's in this. Good role from him. Good roles here. Great. And Brad Dourif. Great Brad Dourif in everything Brad Dourif I've seen in. He's great. A.k.a. the voice of Chucky, but he's great in other stuff too, so I love it. Cinematography by Pino Donaggio. Filmed in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So down in Minnesota. But yeah, it's a great film. Done 93. Yeah, that's Trauma. I said Trauma. But yeah, it's Trauma. Good score too, so I like it. Trauma is definitely a top 10. Asia gets stick for her acting ability, but she's good in this. Yeah, no, she's a good actress. She was good in Dark Glasses. I didn't know that was her until they talked to her. And then on the special features, and she's all tattooed up, and my goodness. That's all I'm going to say about that. It's funny in this one too. He's a drawer, I think, or a writer for a newspaper or something like that, or a TV station. That's what it is, a TV station. He's effing the hot blonde that's in this too. That's one of the anchors. Messing around with his friends and stuff like that too, where he's like going, "Oh yeah, you know you like this chick," and stuff like that, and like going, "Oh, she's a girl. She's like 16 or something like that." Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah. So that just gets just taken out of context in this film. Good cover, by the way. I think Vinegar Syndrome sold out more with the non-slip version and had more of these available. So it's like, okay, so that works. Yeah, it is. Definitely, Sean. Yeah, the opening scene in Trauma is like, it's very unexpected. That's probably what I like about it. And it's Tom Serafini, and everything he's done is pretty on point with his practical effects. I love it. Okay, and let's see, get this research done here. My little stupid pocketbook here. Do. Did not write anything down on this because this was probably one of my first that I did and stuff like that. But yeah, this is Dario Argento's The Bird with the Crystal Plumage, done in 1970, if I am correct. Darren, you can correct me on that. Maybe 69, I know it was released in 1970 or around that time. This is a great first film from him, great first giallo from him. They talk about this at towards the end, of course. It's called The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. It's a great film and stuff like that. Awesome stuff. Great kills in this too. It's a awesome first great attempt from him, and the Bird with the Crystal Plumage stands out a lot even today. It's still worth watching today. It can still work. Basically, a man witnesses a murder from, it's like this studio through like a glass window. Really trippy. I love it, and then it just kind of goes from there, specifically with the ending where I didn't see who the killer was coming. Great twists and turns in this, a great kind of whodunit type of a story. This man tries to find out what's happening and stuff like that. He gets some friends' help and all this other stuff too. And there's a lot of mixture of stuff going on. I believe it's this one, there's a scene in like this house, an apartment where it's like all dark and stuff like that. And the killer's trying to find his girlfriend, I believe it is, or something like that. It's done really good. Highly recommended. Great release again by Arrow. I'm sorry I couldn't comment more on this, but it's very good. So it's Ava Renzi Funeral in Berlin is in this too. Great part from her. If you don't know, now you know, kind of, if you've seen this film, what she's playing as and stuff like that. But yeah, great cast, great debut as a director from Dario Argento. I know with the start of his films, he had his father help him a lot with his stuff through his production company. So yeah, really good. That's the Bird with the Crystal Plumage. So great transfer on that too. The Bird has really grown on me over the years. It's an incredible first feature for anyone. Yeah, if anybody getting into giallo for the first time, this would be it. This started the craze in the 70s. The 70s were the greatest time. 70 to 75, or even the early 60s to 75 really were the best. You got some in the later 70s. You got some good ones and stuff like that, but this kind of started those films in the Animal trilogy that he did, which, are all good for what they are. So, trying to see if I even wrote anything down for this. I thought maybe I did. I guess I did not. I do apologize for that. But I ordered Dark Glasses today. I really liked it. Nowhere near the top 10, but solid film. It is. I like it. I like it because it's quick pace and stuff like that too. I really like it for an older film from him. It's quite new and it's quite good. So I really like it. So it's really, it's typical Argento there too. And I like the aesthetic of it a lot. So it works out really good. Okay, and here we go with, let's see. 2, 3. And my other honorable mention is an underrated giallo from him. I like it for what it is. A lot of people don't talk about it, but it was a good, very cool, awesome release. And I like this a little more than The Bird with the Crystal Plum. It's just a little bit. That's a Cat o' Nine Tails. I really like this film. Specifically, there's a kill, you can say, where this dude gets pushed out on this train. I don't want to call it a monorail. It may not be right, but the way his head kind of hits it, the way that's filmed is just great in early Italian cinema. I just love it. Love it when they do that with these kills and stuff like that. That's why Italian films just get set apart, specifically thrillers, giallos get set apart. Done in 1971, directed by Dario Argento. Scored by Ennio Morricone. Very good score for this. Starring Carl Malden, which I was kind of surprised. Great American actor. I've seen him in other stuff. James Franciscus, produced by Salvatore Argento. Yeah, Salvatore Argento. And then this one was done in Turin, Italy, where he would do a majority of his other films as well in Turin. I know he did stuff in Rome. I think The Bird with the Crystal Plumage may have been in Rome, but this one was in Turin and stuff like that too. So great special feature where they talk about that and stuff and all this other stuff too. Cat o' Nine Tails is basically a whip. So very good kills in this too. There was an alternate ending for this, but it was never produced or it was lost or something like that. Special feature on this has like the credits or the cliff notes for it of what it was supposed to be and stuff like that. Good kills in here. Good murder mystery. I like the ending for it. I thought that was really trippy. Good chase scene with that. Very good underrated Argento. So Bird is a good 8 out of 10. I'll say this too with mostly all of his earlier films. I gave like an 8 or 9 out of 10 or 8 out of 10 in general like that. They're not bad. They're not bad at all. They're really, a lot of them are masterpieces for what they are specifically today when you see newer films. But yeah, that's Cat o' Nine Tails. I liked it a lot. Hey, Darren. Yeah, good to see some love for Cat o' Nine Tails. It's not one I like much, but cool to see someone defend it. Yeah, it's like like I say, it's kind of unheralded and stuff like that too. But I think it's considering who the killer is and kind of how you lead up to that, where it's like it's kind of all over the place a little bit. So it's a little murder mystery type of a thing. So I get it and I understand it. So. But I do like the ending for it and stuff like that too. But it was kind of like a quick type of an ending here, so it was like really. Yeah, I was never crazy about Cat o' Nine Tails. Yeah, like I said, diving into these films and like going, whoa, just being, you can say, a virgin on Italian giallos and stuff like that. I'm like going, God, what awesome films and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a great film for what it is. So yeah, definitely recommend it if you can get it on sale, an Arrow and stuff like that, or go one of these sites and stuff like that, or just get the regular. You don't have to get this collector's edition, even though Arrow still has it. I would recommend it, though, because it comes with a booklet, and the booklet has awesome information on it with the actors and locations and Dario in general. So, yeah, it's a good film for what it is. Okay, and then my final honorable mention tonight. I'll mention that, too. Dark Glasses was really good. I was going to put it on here and stuff like that, too, but I've kind of rearranged some of my Blu-rays and stuff like that, what I plan on watching for future kind of content, and just because I want to watch it and stuff like that. So, because I know, excuse me, it was thought Gizmo mentioned it during their top John Carpenter films, during the spooky season. So, that'd be very, very cool to do. So definitely would. So there's one film I have to watch from him and stuff like that. So now then, for my final honorable mention here is a film I originally had the Shameless release for. My man Dirk went to a convention. I said, if you find it there on the Severin table, could you buy it for me and stuff like that too? I'll send you the money. He did. He sent it to me. This is the better version of it. I kind of trashed on this film a little bit for the stupid comedy I believe that's in it. but it has a special place in my heart. And my last honorable mention for Dario, the great Dario Argento, is Four Flies for Grey Velvet. Dirk was nice enough to send this to me in the nice protector type of a case here, which he all prepped up for me, and I highly appreciate that, Dirk, and stuff like that. And oh yeah, I like this film. I like the kills in this film. I like the story for this film. Then they introduced the Godfrey character and that stupid ass music and that stupid ass comedy, and I'm like, going, get the fuck out of here with that. If they would have taken that out, this movie would have gotten a 9 out of 10. So that's how much I love this film. So make no mistake, I can dog the hell out of it, but that actor that even plays Godfrey, he is just weird in everything he plays. The same actor that's in Pieces, he's just weird in what he plays. I know the English voice actor that plays him, he plays other stuff, which works a little bit better, but this is just like, come on. I understand the whole premise like that. It's good special features on the Shameless that I have where they talk about just because it's based loosely on a book, I think by a different name. I may be wrong and stuff like that because they mentioned some Giallo books, but that's for another time. Yeah, done in 1971 as well, directed by Dario Argento, music by Ennio Morricone, assistant director Luigi Cozzi. Very good assistant director here. Good locations here. Good just driving around and stuff like that. Good aesthetics and stuff. This scene right here is this person in this mask taking this picture, and it looks like this old broken down opera house. It's a good twist at the end. Mimsy Farmer is also in this. I know a lot of people don't like her as an actress. This is probably her best role in here. I do like her in The Black Cat, the Lucio Fulci film. I think she's a little better in that. But she's good in here too, specifically when she goes batshit crazy at the end. You all know what I'm talking about with that. A good ending death scene right here. I think The Omen was made a little bit later. I think they got a certain death scene in that from watching this film, specifically the ending. It's shot well. The ending is done really well, kind of in slow motion. And yeah, that's Four Flies and the Grey Velvet. And then, yeah, the whole thing with the eye here and stuff like that, which you find out about. There's a good kill scene that's like in a park that closes down, so time seems to go by fast in that. I like that scene a lot. Great cinematography. Great direction in this. Yeah, this is Four Flies and Grey Velvet, which completes the Animal trilogy. Of course, then he would make, was it 4 Days in Milan, which bombed because they should have released it in his hometown, kind of in his country. That would have worked better, in my opinion, for what I've heard. And then he did the masterpiece that is Deep Red after that. There you go. Yeah, that score to Four Flies is superb. That ending is crazy. Also in the Shameless release, I know they changed dubbing to Italian towards the end and stuff like that, where the mono goes batshit crazy, where I had to turn down my TV, my 4K TV a little bit. I'm like going, oh, but it's good. It's good special features on that Shameless release. So it's not Shameless isn't terrible with the releases, but they're subpar. So yeah, the ending is crazy. Yeah, like I say, the ending is nuts. Basically a car crash ending done in slow motion from the passenger, seeing it from the passenger or from the driver's side all the way kind of through. I'm like going, wow, okay, that's a great way to end it. So kind of like a jazz score a little bit at the start, which I liked it. Yeah, I agree on the God character. That's what it is. He goes, hey, God, and stuff like that. And they stop the stupid music. I'm like, oh, God. It's like literally, it's like, she's great in Perfume of the Lady in Black. Okay, that Giallo is fantastic. And the ending is a WTF. Really? Okay. You've given me more damn notes there, Darren, for stuff I cannot buy at the moment. I do appreciate it. But yeah, there we go. So my honorable mentions here. And of course, my top 5 Dario Argento films. So number 5, Phenomenon. Number 4, Tenebrae. Number 3, Suspiria. Number 2, Opera. and number one Deep Red. But kind of like what Dirk says with certain films, the top two can change every once in a while. So who knows? If I watch Opera again, that may make it to the number one spot. So, it's a great stuff. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you all for the subs. If you can, like this stream, subscribe if you haven't just yet. Let's see. Giallo chainsaw the subscribe button. There we go. And thank you again for hanging out with me. I know it's very late in the evening and stuff like that. And I will catch you all tomorrow when I'll be doing my Fulci Friday, and I will be doing. Have it, and I'll probably watch this later on tonight for Fulci Friday. Tomorrow, or today for some of you, later on it will be Manhattan Baby from Lucio Fulci, the late great Lucio Fulci. So there you go. Anyway, you all have a great evening. I will see you all in the next one. You all have a great evening. Thank you for joining again, and I will see you all next time. Bye.